Okay, for problem 2 on page 101, Janessa has 24 coins in her pocket worth exactly $1. So right there we know that she has 24 coins. We know they total $1. So those are important numbers. She tells her younger brother Jackson that he can have the coins if he correctly guesses how many of each coin she has. She gives him the hint that there are only nickels and pennies. Only nickels and pennies. Okay. So a couple of things we know. We know that the nickels plus the pennies equals 24. So we know that the number of nickels plus the number of pennies equals 24. We know that the amount equals $1, which is 100 cents. So if we add 5 cents for every nickel, so that's 5 times n, plus 1 cent for every penny, which is just p, that equals 100. We know those two things. And so we look at the rest of the problem and we see, the questions, and A says complete the equation. Well, 5 times something plus p equals 100, that looks like this. So you could say, okay, we just put n in there, right? But if we don't know how many nickels and we don't know how many pennies, we can't solve for two variables. So we have to put one of those variables in terms of the other one. And the way we do that is we use this other relationship that we noticed, and we put n in terms of p. In other words, we solve that equation for n. So n plus p equals 24. Subtract p from both sides. This cancels, and I end up with n equals 24 minus p. So instead of n having n here, now I can substitute this in, and I get 5 times 24 minus p. 5 times 24 minus p plus p equals 100. Because if n equals 24 minus p, then I can substitute that in for n. Okay, so now that's the answer for A, right? A is 5 times 24 minus p plus p equals 100. Well, now that you have that, you can solve for p. You can just do the math and solve for p. Once you have p, that answers B. Then C, the total value of the pennies, well, it's just 1 cent per penny, so that's easy to solve. What is the value of the total value of the nickels? Well, I can figure out how many nickels I have. If I know how many pennies, I plug it in right there, and then I can figure out the nickels. And then what should Jackson, so then that's how many nickels. Then you got to multiply that by 5 because it says total value of nickels. And then what should Jackson guess to get his sister's coins? He should guess how many nickels and how many pennies. Okay, so I'll let you finish that.